Hello and welcome to Comeng 17, where today we're at Glen Waverly station. And if you've looked at the title, you'll discover what we plan to do today, because when you're watching this, I will have just reached 200 subscribers. That's a lot. Yeah, and today's adventure is to celebrate reaching this milestone. It's like 200 individual people who came to view my little channel where I post my fun adventures, and they said they wanted to stay and watch some more, and that's a very nice thing to think about. So yeah, today we're going to celebrate reaching that milestone by catching one of every, or at least one, of every type of train that operates in Victoria. And so how do we define that, is the question, obviously. Like, how do you define every type of train? Because there's like a billion of them if you count everything. A lot of them have been retired permanently. A few of them went to preservation societies like Steam Rail Victoria, and a bunch of them operate on freight lines, which are hard to ride on. And so the answer of how we're going to do that is we're going to have a pretty strict criteria. Only the trains regularly operated by Metro and V-Line. And I know that's not a lot, but it was surprisingly hard to get it organised. The difficult ones turned out to be the NSETs, the locomotive haul NSETs, and the V-Line sprinters. For slightly different reasons. The NSETs, because they don't run that frequently, like they only run a few times a day. And the V-Line sprinters, because there's only two lines you can ride them on, the Stony Point line, which don't have the time to go to, or the Seymour line, which the first station that you're allowed to freely get on and off at is Donnybrook, which is a while away from the city. So because of that, yeah, I've had to find a way to make it work and get home at a reasonable time, because I don't want to spend I'm going to have some time at home as well. So yeah, the first train that we're riding is the Extrapolis 100. This is one of the main workhorses for Metro Trains Melbourne. It's their most numerous type of train. There are over 200 Extrapolis 100s. Some of them even have names, like that one. I know some of them have names, and that one says the word Don Corrie on both ends, so I imagine that's that one's name. But yeah, they were first made, I think they first entered service around 2002, when they were originally ordered by Connex to replace the Hitachi fleet. And after that initial order, the Victorian government proceeded to keep ordering them. And they ordered a bunch, over 200. And so that's how we have this many as we do today. They are allowed to run on the Glen Waverly, Alamein, Belgrave, Lilydale, Mernda Hurst Bridge, Frankston, Werribee, and Williamstown lines, along with the Flemington Racecourse line, which isn't the entire thing. I don't believe they don't run on the Sandringham, Upfield, Craigieburn, Sunbury, Pakenham, or Cranbourne lines. So and obviously the Stony Point line, but I'm not counting that. But I don't believe they're cleared to run on those lines. some not well thought out design choices led to the cab being in the wrong spot. In all other trains, the driver's cab is on the left, but if you have a look at the front of this train, it's in the middle. Now, the signalling for the lines and stuff weren't designed for that, and so it means that that the extrapoluses can't run on lines without major modifications for the signalling, and so because of that, every line has to be redone a little bit before they are allowed to run on them, and so that's why they're not cleared on the entire network. I don't know about the HCMTs, but I believe that every other type of suburban train, the Siemens and the Comengers, they both have the left cab thingy. So, yeah. I mean, they didn't have to build them that way. And when we go inside, you'll see a few more of those interesting design choices that made them... yeah, they're not the most loved, despite how much they're used. But yeah, I'll talk about that more when we get on. All the Extrapolis 100s here have been painted completely in the modern PTV 2022 livery, which they started applying in 2022. This livery is inspired by the design of the HCMTs and removes all the PTV and Metro logos that were plastered everywhere, and paints the doors yellow, well, the outline of the doors yellow, and you've got that little operated by Metro to replace all the Metro logos around the train. And the front of the train still is the PTV logo, so that's still there. The front of the train wasn't really changed at all, and so this small modification makes them look a lot nicer, in my opinion. And also makes them more accessible because the doors are much more clearly marked. Now, yeah. Now let's see inside. The first thing you'll notice about the Extrapolis 100s when entering them is the doors. Now, when stopped at a station in Victoria, when a train is stopped at a station, all the doors are power operated, on the closing at least. Almost every type of train that operates regularly in Victoria has button operated, power operated doors where you have to press the button to open, but they automatically close before departure. So if you press the button, the door opens, and it automatically closes before the train departs. Now this is done to save energy, because instead of opening every door, only the doors that are needed actually get opened. This is the walk between... Oh, I don't know if it's called a catwalk. This is the... Sorry? This is the walk between... The thingamajig... I forgot what it's called. Between the carriages. The Extrapolis 100s are semi-permanently coupled 3-car sets, which are often 2 of which couple together to create a 6-car set. This is the back half of one of those 6-car sets. You can see on this train here how they're coupled together. And yeah, they've got they've got normal PTV priority seats, but for the non-priority seats they've got this Connex pattern, which still hasn't been changed despite the fact that Connex no longer operates the network. And now they also have these PIDs, so they don't have the most advanced PIDs, unlike most other trains. They're also not currently undergoing a refurbishment to replace them, with like the Siemens and the Comengers. And Now here's the start of some more of the interesting design choices. Along with the cab, this, I forgot what those are called too, the hand grabber thingy is interestingly placed on either end. For most of the carriage, it covers up the entire display, or a good chunk of it, and so you can't really see the displays that don't really show that much anyway. Yeah. They're also known for their spring suspension instead of airbag, which means that they bounce around a lot. And they also wheel slip a lot, which leads to the conclusion that one of the reasons they chose to make so many of them is because of how cheaply made they are. They've got a lot of really weird design choices. One of the reasons for all these weird design choices is the simple fact that they aren't actually necessarily designed for Victoria. I think they were first deployed here, but they also operate in Valparaiso, Chile. I'm sorry if that's not how it's pronounced. I don't know how it is. So that's how. So the ones in Chile operate as two-car sets. The middle trailer car isn't present, and they have basically the same design, actually. So the conclusion that all the weird differences in design are probably because they were designed to be a more general model as opposed to a Victorian specific model. Which, why didn't you just buy a Victorian specific model? Yeah. Well, let's wait for this thing to start moving before we continue. Now the train's beginning to move, and you can hear the sounds of the electric traction equipment. They're not too loud. This is inside the M car, which is where most of the traction equipment is located. So it doesn't sound that bad. Honestly, I personally really like the sound of the extrapless traction equipment. Oh, that was a wheel slip. Did you see how it went high and then back a little low? That's the sound of a wheel slip. And yeah, you can see how much the carriages are rocking just by looking through to the other carriage. Yeah, standing up on an extrapless is a significant challenge. It's one of the hardest trains to do that on. It's been nicknamed the extrampoline because of this. More wheel slips, which are causing the back cab to sound like it's coming off. But yeah.
Now arriving at Sindor.
Okay, that was a weird echo. From this seat you can actually see the PIDs, which is good. You can't from a lot of them. So I can't see any of the other pits clearly except that one. But yeah. Now. Good thing is they are reliable in the fact that they don't fall apart very often. They don't, despite the fact that they're cheaply made, they're not coming apart at the edges even 20 years later. Because even though the last ones were only entered service 4 years ago, the first ones are 22 years old. So it's a significant age gap. Actually, I can have a look at you can actually pretty easily see how old your Extrapolis is, because they say the date here, Alstom 2003. So it's not the date, it's the year still. So that means this train was built in 2003, which makes it 21 years old. Despite that, it's relatively okay. The Extrapolis trains are the most reliable in the fact they don't fall apart very often, but in all other aspects they're the least reliable, basically. But yeah. Speed is not speed and acceleration are surprisingly unimportant things when considering how good a train is in Victoria, because at least on the metro trains, they all have the same relatively low speed limit of 110, and most lines are much lower than that. I think most of the Belgrave line is like 80. And yeah, it's definitely possible to build trains that can go faster than 110. The trains that did, the first trains to do that were the Harris trains, which were constructed in like the 1920s, so like after World War II, I think that's when they were made. Yeah, the 50s. So if we could have definitely made them faster. It's just the stations are so close together, and we don't.
Now arriving at Glen Waverly.
We Victorians don't often enjoy maintaining our railway lines very much, or future-proofing them. The government's currently realised that and is doing a lot of projects to add stuff, but before like 2020 there wasn't a lot of stuff being done to improve. Well, it was being done, but nothing had been opening yet. It wasn't finished. But yeah. Yeah. The Extrapolises and the Siemens both have a feature where when the train's pulling into the station, if you hold down the open button, the doors will open the second they're unlocked. And the benefit of that is it's the fastest way to get them open. That didn't sound like a wheel slip, so that's pretty good, I guess. The fact that I'm congratulating the train on not wheel slipping is a pretty low bar, though. But yeah, I think about the extrampolining is pretty much speaks for itself. But yeah. When we get to Southern Cross, I think I'll give the train my rating out of 10. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride every train and give it a rating out of 10. That makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, obviously I've ridden every train that I'm making this video for many times before, or at least once. And so
Now
I do know what I'm talking about
generally
before I get on the train, which is why I was talking about the Extrapolises long before I actually got on them. So I will have a little bit of time now to think about what I actually want the ratings to be, but yeah. So this is my first time riding them, but I'm still gonna this is the first time riding them all in one day, so I feel like it's a good time to give my thoughts on them. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys might not be able to. Yep, okay. Wanted to give you guys a view of what the PIDs on the front of the train look like. It's not on the side. For metro trains, for suburban trains in Melbourne, the PIDs on the exterior are always on the front, each end of the train. Whereas on V-Line, it's often on the side. Just to be confusing. So next time we have the opportunity, I'll show you it. Now we're at East Melbourne, a train station that is right next to a freeway. And you'll see the station more from the freeway than from the station more often. No, that was a weird sentence. Yeah. I just thought I should probably explain what my plan is to do today to be able to catch all the trains. My first aim is to get to Southern Cross, because V-Line are the trains that are going to be difficult to catch, because you have to go pretty far from the city to be able to freely get on and off them. So the first thing I'm going to do when I get to the city is catch a V-Line Sprinter to Donnybrook and back on the Seymour line. Those trains, now there is a small chance that my service will be replaced by a VLocity, but the chance of my return service also being a VLocity is microscopic, so even if it is, I'm still going to ride it, I think. Yeah. And then after I get back from that, there's an N-Class service leaving for Warrnambool at 1 PM. So I'm going to catch that all the way to around Lara, and then catch the return train. That's my plan. And then the suburban trains, there will be a gap between me returning to Southern Cross from Donnybrook and my
Now arriving at Darling.
my N-Class run. So within that time, I'll be able to catch most of the suburban trains, I imagine, because I've already ticked off Extrapolis on this journey. So yeah, there's only a few others to do anyway. This is Gardner, which is known for some reason, hosting one of, if not, I forget if it still holds that spot, but I believe it does. I believe it's my most viewed video. A simple short of me getting off the train at Gardner, watching the train depart and tapping off at the station, got 5.3 thousand views. I have no idea why. But that specific video did. But yeah. Thanks for watching it, I guess. Okay, let's watch this extra depart. This one's actually, I just realised the Extrapolis is actually PIDs on the sides. Didn't know that. See those black lines? But then if you look at the back of the train, and same with the front, it displays the destination. I didn't realise they had ones on the side. How have I not realised that? Now, I don't actually know if this Extrapolis is doing, oh my god, that's an NSET, okay. That's gonna distract my attention for a while. That's an NSET coming from Bairnsdale. That's interesting. Anyway, so I'm gonna get off at Richmond and change for a train that I know is going to continue to Southern Cross.
Train platform 7 minutes to train platform number 5. Standing at platform 2, platform 4, tram at Pakenham platform 6.
So that was the Extrapolis 100.
Train departing.
I think I'll give it like probably like a 3 out of 10. They're not very good trains, honestly, but they get the job done. They are probably the worst, though, out of all the trains, but, I mean, they're not, they still do it, they still do what they're meant to do. They're not the best. Now let's change for a different type of train, hopefully. Could be another Extrapolis. It's a lottery with the Frankston line. I'm going to be catching a Frankston train to Flinders Street, which will then become a Werribee or Williamstown service, which goes via Southern Cross. Not a Dandenong service, because they go via the City Loop, which means that it's going to take a long time to get to Southern Cross, so I'll catch them later in the the sort of lightning round between the two major V-line services. Yeah. Yeah, here's the Werribee train. Departing in 3 minutes, which is good. We'll see what else I get to ride today. Right. Our train is a Werribee train. Not that it actually has an effect on anything, but it's a Werribee train and it leaves on a nice time, 10 AM, and it's going to be departing in 1 minute, and it's a Siemens Nexas. That's nice. Oh my god, I even get to see both liveries. That's pretty cool. I think. Yes, I do. Okay. So the Siemens trains are also getting a PTV 2022 livery. And this is the original livery coming up, with the Metro logos on the side. Coming up is the new PTV 2022 livery on the other half of the train. And look how clean it is. I've never been this close to a PTV 2022 Siemens before. I've seen them. They're starting to replace all the Siemens as they get refurbished, because the Siemens are currently under a refurbishment project that rotates them. Yeah, their doors function the same way as the extrapolaces. Yeah, they've got modern PIDs, which is cool. But yeah, so this is a refurbished set, so it's got a few new features like the PTV seating. They used to have their own unique type of seating. All the old sets still do have that, I imagine. The doors are very wide, but they've only got 2 per carriage, which doesn't help in
This is a
peak
service
hour.
to Werribee, stopping all stations direct to Werribee.
Yeah, their seats look pretty modern and comfortable. They look much more like modern, like futuristic than extrapolaces. Like on the interior, at least. The exterior looks relatively normal. But yeah, with the modern PIDs that are able to display a lot of information, the lack of really badly placed handwritten, what are they called? I'll never know. I don't. These things do block it, but only from specific angles. The doors are really wide, which is interesting. I guess it makes up for the fact that there's only 2. Only 2 definitely doesn't help in peak hour. The width. They're actually also part of another thing, the Siemens modular something. Modular Metro. Siemens Modular Metro. I mean, looking at these doors, you can kind of see they look like they're designed for platform screen doors, and they're also flat against the side of the train, which is a unique feature. They actually extend out when they open. So in most trains, the doors are kind of like in a little dent, but on the Siemens, they're perfectly flat, which is yeah. The Siemens were, when they the Siemens only came in one batch and were ordered by M-Train around the same time as the extrapolaces, but actually the first Siemens arrived after the first extrapolaces. There's only a few of them, like around 20 or so, I think, maybe. Maybe a little more than that, maybe closer to 50. But yeah, back in the early 2000s, there were a lot of very well-known braking issues with the Siemens trains, but those problems were completely resolved, and now they are just as reliable as the extrapolaces. And they're currently going under midlife refurbishment, like some of the extrapolaces really, you imagine, would be going through. They aren't. Because some of them are only 4 years old. But yeah, this modern refurb really makes the Siemens as we've got the Sydney sound effect,
Flinders Street.
which is funny. The sound effect that plays on Sydney trains and on a lot of V-line stuff as well. Yeah, so they're really good trains. There's only a few of them, unfortunately. But yeah, if they had ordered them instead of the extrapolises when they were ordering much more trains, things would have probably been a lot better, but they didn't because of the braking issues. And instead it led to one thing I just noticed is today's the 17th of August. 17, anyone? Also, the train that I'm riding in is carriage 800M, which is such a round number. And the PRDs had some interesting things when the train was at the thing, like they said the word metro first for a bit. Then when there was a driver announcement, they displayed driver announcement, and now saying now Flinders Street. But also one thing about the Siemens, instead of having the doors that you have to do to cross the carriages,
This is a
you
service
can just
to
walk
Wavery,
between them.
stopping all
They're
stations
designed for you to be able to do that.
Wavery.
I'm like, just like, yeah, they're much more better designed than the extrapolises. I'm gonna have to give them a higher rating than, well, I'm gonna give everything else a higher rating than the extrapolises, really. Right now we're arriving at Southern Cross. Sorry, my camera was sideways, so I just wanted to reset it. So yeah, the Siemens also have the exact same door functions as the extrapolises. If you hold down the button before it stops, the doors will open as soon as it's there, unlocked. It's not lighting up now, but when it stops, it will open immediately. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the Siemens doors extending outwards. See, they come out of the train instead of go in. It's interesting. And yeah, this is the livery again, which is really cool. Yeah. And yeah, the operated by Metro little thing doesn't work quite as well as on the shiny silver body, but it does work. And the yellow outlines around the doors are done well because the Siemens already had a stripe down the middle, and they've got the cab in the right spot. Got the PRDs on the front and back, just like the extrapolis, but not on the side. Well, it's not an extrapolis exclusive, but yeah. See, the original livery did have that stripe down the middle, which does make the yellow outline a little less important, but it is there for consistency. See how they go in a little bit? You can see, yeah. And the side of the train is just so flat. It looks like, oh, look at that. That is nice. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I think I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Because they're just really good. There's no issues. They're like, what if all the problems with the extrapolises went away? That's literally what they are. What if there weren't any problems with the extrapolis? Because there's no issues with them. All the features they have work perfectly. It's just they don't have as many features as some of the other trains. And that's the end set we saw at Richmond. I have no idea. Well, actually, I have every idea about it. I don't know why I said that. That is a service that came from Bairnsdale. Only a few of those actually are end sets, though. Could even be the train that becomes my Warrnambool train. Yeah, let's head over to our Seymour train. Well, our V-Line Sprinter now. We're going over to V-Line for now. We're going to be going to Donnybrook and back, which is far away. There's another Siemens, surprisingly common. Yeah. Southern Cross Station. This is the main terminus for V-Line and a pretty major metro station. It's the second most main metro station. And it's easily the most main V-Line one. So in many respects, despite Flinders Street being much more iconic to suburban travellers, really, Southern Cross deserves the name Melbourne Station. Now, surprisingly, there's nothing on the Seymour platforms. Don't actually know why that is. Yeah. Wait, is that it? Is that the Seymour train? From 7B. Okay, it's a VLocity, interestingly. Which means I'll have to catch a Sprinter on the return trip, which is a bit of a gamble. Not really, because there's microscopic chance that it's also a VLocity, because they only run really one per day.
Customers for the 1036 train to Seymour, please be advised that this service has had a platform change and will now depart from platform 7B. Attention V-Line customers, the 1036 Seymour service is now boarding at platform 7.
So I guess we'll get to ride a V-Line VLocity, the
Donnybrook, Warren, Heathcote Junction, Wandong, Kilmore East, Broadford, Tarrabrook, Seymour, the 1036 Seymour service is now boarding at platform 7.
That's a pretty cool horn on the Comeng there.
Thank you.
That's a Comeng, that type of train, the old suburban trains. Nearly sound like an N-Class, but the N-Class isn't moving yet. Oh my goodness, it isn't. That's the N-Class. It turns out that it was the N-Class's horn. Yeah. Alright, so, this, I have confirmed with someone, that the train that I'll be catching back from Seymour is a Sprinter, but surprisingly, most of the trains on the Seymour line today are VLocities for some reason. But yeah, this is the V-Line VLocity. We're going to be catching this to Donnybrook, and then we'll be catching a Sprinter back. Now, V-Line VLocities are, yeah, the main type of train on V-Line. This train's surprisingly empty, despite the fact that it's leaving in like 10 minutes. Yes, it's outside of peak hour on one of the least used lines. That's my guess. Just checking. This isn't a quiet carriage. So yeah, the V-Line VLocity. They have a bunch of seats. You might notice the lack of standing room. They've got doors. They've got single doors, and they've only got 2 per carriage. They've got open walkways between the carriages, which even the Extrapolases don't have. Yeah, they've got PIDs, like this one. Here. It's a PID. They're not very advanced ones. And they don't have any on the front as well. They only have them on the sides, like there. This is a PID. No, it isn't. That's not a PID. That's embarrassing for me. It's not a PID. Something else is. I'll show you when we get off, I guess. Yeah. So they have toilets, 2 toilets per set generally, and they're good at what they're designed for, which is interurban trips, like trips to Seymour, Bendigo, Ballarat, Geelong, and Traralgon. But the thing that makes them not the best trains is that they use on the Wyndham Vale and Melton suburban lines, and also on long distance trips to Ararat, Maryborough, Bairnsdale, Shepperton, Seymour, no, well not Seymour, Albury, oh boy, and Echuca. So they're used for things they weren't designed for, and that really will cost them on the rating. But yeah, got really thick seats, most of them do at least. There's a group of them called the VRs, as opposed to the VLs, VLocity. The VRs are velocities that have been reconfigured for shorter trips, meaning they have a few extra seats and one less toilet, and the seats are not like this. They are much worse. And they get rostered on long distance services, because aren't all velocities the same? They would have been if you hadn't ordered those, but here we are with trains that are designed for basically suburban trips being sent to Echuca. So it's more scheduling failures on the V-Line's part, really. They really want a flexible fleet, and so but they didn't actually consider that their train wasn't designed for some of the operations they were putting it on. That's not the train's fault necessarily, but I'm going to have to take away points for that. But I guess it's nice to have a suburban train with a toilet on it when you're on the Melton and Wyndham Vale lines. Anyway, let's wait for the train to start moving now.
Service to Seymour, leaving in about 10 minutes.
So yeah, that's on metro trains, they're mostly pre-recorded, but on V-Line the announcements are generally...
Ladies and gentlemen, service to Seymour, leaving in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Alright, we're moving now. Just noticed that N-Class over there looks really clean. I can't see it right now, but there was an N-Class logo over there that looked really clean. I have no idea why. But yeah, we're moving now. We're moving slow because we're in the junction in Southern Cross Station, so there's a bunch of points and stuff, so it's understandable. But the VLocities are actually the fastest trains in Victoria, and they're equal fastest in Australia, really. No train goes over 160 regularly in Australia, and the VLocities do reach 160 pretty regularly. So, yeah. They were originally called the VLocity 160 for that reason. There's a Y-class shunting loco. There's a Sprinter, which is what we'll be catching next. And inside you can see the preserved A66, which is an old diesel loco in between the bridge. It's got that old V-Line logo. There's some N-type carriages. And we're approaching the Alstom warehouse where all the stuff is done. But yeah, this is carriage storage. There's a lot of that around. There's some dirtier looking classes. Yeah. That little thing, it's like really a Sprinter storage. Yeah, that's the main warehouse for V-Line trains. So yeah, as you can see, it's much less bumpy than the Extrapolis. Still rocks a bit. The Siemens also, well, that's a reserved Sigma box. But yeah, the Siemens also weren't as bumpy, but I didn't point that out. But yeah, we're going to be on this train for a bit. That's the North Melbourne flyover, which goes right next to the North Melbourne lookout, and most trains go on that. We're on the Seymour line, so we're not going to go on it. Instead, we're going to go through North Melbourne Station, which is the only line that does that. There's the PID, by the way. That's just the reason the stripes aren't actually visible to the human eye. That's just a thing that happens on cameras when they record thick screens like that one. And we're going to be on this train for a while, so fortunately it has comfortable seats. Actually, well, let's go have a look around now that it's moving. like grab some water or fill up your water. This is the toilet, which is this one's just a little toilet. There are some bigger ones. But also, this is the middle carriage. Oh, they're bumpy. Yeah, as you can see, free to walk through, which is nice. Feature on yeah, that little. I think I've realised the difference between the toilets. That's just an average toilet. This is like an accessible toilet. Yeah, it's much wider. It's got these big buttons to control it. Yeah.
To ensure your privacy, please lock the toilet door.
Now we're speeding through the Craigieburn line right now. I've already time-lapsed it before. I've time-lapsed every line that I've got on today, so don't expect any time-lapses today. Even though I've brought the equipment to do time-lapses, I'm not going to because I don't really have a reason to. Next station, Broadmeadows, so we're running express. Now, you're not actually allowed to get off at Broadmeadows. You're not, because otherwise people could just use it as an express train, and obviously that's undesirable because you don't want to pack these. Generally they're sprinters, which are pretty small trains. You don't want to pack them full of suburban passengers and have no space for the actual people who need this train, the long distance passengers. Yeah, they go, as you can see, we're going pretty fast, and yeah, this is nothing compared to the full speed of this train. Well, actually, it might be something, I don't know how fast we're going. Feels pretty fast. Yeah, we're speeding through Essendon Station, which has 3 platforms, interestingly. Yeah. I don't know why that is, because we haven't merged with the standard gauge line yet. Oh, another thing. I'm not going to ride a standard gauge VLocity today. Sorry. I don't think that's very viable. I haven't ridden one before, and yeah, I didn't even consider that today. They're basically the same thing as VLocities, except they've got a buffet, and they're standard gauge, but that doesn't really change anything from the passenger perspective. I'll ride them another day, and then I'll complete the list. But today we're just focusing on everything else. Yeah. This is where the Albion-Jacana line merges with the Seymour line. Well, it doesn't merge because they're different track gauges, but they merge onto the same corridor. So we're going under it right now, and it comes out the other side. There we go. Standard gauge line. This standard gauge line goes to Albury via Seymour. And now we're approaching Broadmeadows, which is the only suburban stop that the Albury line stops. I don't think it even stops on Footscray. Footscray not on. We're also stopping here, as you can see on the PRD. Now we've entered the regional section of the line, I believe. We could be before Craigieburn, but yeah. Next station is Craigieburn. Okay. Never mind. Craigieburn now. Next station is Donnybrook. Right, now we're arriving at Donnybrook. I'm thinking of riding the VLocity. I'm going to rate. It's good at what it's designed for. It's not used always for what it's designed for, so I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 10. Better than the Extrapolis, but going to be lower than everything else. Now arriving at Donnybrook. The train's going really slow.
Donnybrook, next stop.
Like the Siemens, the VLocity doors actually come out, which I just noticed. Donnybrook Station. The sign doesn't have a PTV logo on it. The VLocities actually have two different designs. The fronts were recently-ish redesigned by, I don't know if it was still Bombardier or Alstom when the change was made, but they're a little wider now. The white bit is noticeably different. But yeah. See, the doors actually come out like on the Siemens, creating the flat surface. Yeah, that's the exterior PID. There's the diesel fumes. Now we're at Donnybrook Station. One thing I've noticed, besides that one Albury line signal, there's no other signals at this station. So there's not that much information either. It's not much of much, really, yeah. Maybe there's this. Unlocked. Looks like an unlocked shed. Maybe I should have gotten off at Wallen. Oh, the station building's not even constructed yet. And I'll be here for a while. Well, I guess I get to experience what it's like at a small V-line station. Here's a V-line network map. I probably should have done Wallen. Oops. Yeah, where's the information? Is there really anything information-wise? That's probably for them to yeah. There we go. So we're on Saturday. Similar to Melbourne, and we want the 11:42, I believe. Next train back. Yeah, okay. Well, let's go to the other platform. Let's go to platform 1. Yeah, there's really nothing here. I'll be here a while as well, so it's not the best choice platform for the station. Oh well. So yeah, it's triple track because of the Wavery line. 2 tracks, this section. Yeah, there's basically no signals except that one, which slipped on the track there. That one. Oh, there's a dead spider, and the timetable's faded yellow. Also got Mikey stuff. Pretty sure you can't use Mikey on coaches. Could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure you can't. Anyway. Yeah, very quiet. I have to say, very quiet. This one's dog is really mad. Probably because it got mad at the train or something. If I had gotten off at Walden, literally nothing would have changed, except I would have been at probably a better station. But, like, I definitely would have caught the return train. Oh, that's what the signal's for. It's not even related to the station at all. That's a passing loop. See how the standing key... Hold up, I'll zoom you guys in. 10 times feels excessive. I didn't even realise my phone did that. Okay, you've got 3 pixels. Okay. So you can see that the standard gauge track, the track on the right that curves in, splits into 2, and there's a signal of double red. So that's a passing loop where a single track splits into double track, so that trains going in opposite directions can go around each other. And surprisingly, it's pretty important to have those. One of the few lines that doesn't have those is, I'm pretty sure there's not a single passing loop on the Stony Point line. And the reason for that is they only run one individual train back and forth on that line, which also happens to be a V-line sprinter. Right, now, better get comfortable because we'll be here a while. I just noticed, if you have a look, the signal for the passing loop has gone green. That's proceed full speed, so will there be an Albury train coming through soon? Possibly. Will I be riding it? The lack of platform answers that question. Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. There are more people at the station now, interestingly. Good. The train's still... It kind of implies that the train will stop at that end of the platform. Yeah. There it is. There's our train. You can barely see it right now, but it's on its way. Should probably head down to where everyone else is. That's probably where it will stop. Oh, the level crossing triggered. That's surprisingly early. I guess, yeah, there's no signals at the station, so it's got to trigger as soon as possible. And half the trains don't stop here. So why they didn't add signals? I don't know. Feels... Also, well, maybe the fact... Could be the fact that, there's no gap. Oh wow, it's already here. Okay. They're in the middle of the platform. V-Line Sprinter. Looks like a 2-car set. There we go. 702 on one end. And on the other end is 709. Bob Davis. Apparently. Alright, let's get on. So it's also got button operated, power operated doors. Most trains do. And wow, there's a lot more people on this train. Well, there's a lot of people at the station, really. I'll go on the front bridge. Oh, good. Alright. Let's see. Got a lot of seats on this one. Oh, that's annoying. Well, at least there's a lot of standing room on this train. Standing room, which is good. It's completely packed, but you can see all the seats. Kind of like the main seats are kind of like the seats on the VLocity. They're like interesting design. Through to the others. Yeah, they've got this interesting shape design. Oh, the driver's cabin is open. No, the conductor's cabin. So, yeah. Actually seeing. Yeah, this is the conductor's cab. I think. Well, this is a driver's cab as well. It's like the toilet on the VLocity and stuff. Right. Now, hopefully we might get off at Craigieburn or Broadmeadows or something. I mean, there is a seat here. I'll just sit here, yes. Sorry if I'm mumbling a little bit and you can't hear me. Yeah. Pretty, nearly like suburban trains, which I guess is good. Got good standing room, but not very high capacity because they come in 1-car sets. And they also have toilets and stuff. And they've got 2 cabs per carriage, which is a lot. Yeah. Still pretty good trains, like they're good at, yeah. Alright, I'll hopefully some people get off when we enter Melbourne. This train is very packed. I'm honestly surprised how many people are on it. Alright. Looks like a few people are getting off at Glen Waverly. Right, now we're getting close to Southern Cross. That's the clean looking N class I was talking about. Next to the white class. But yeah, now we're back at Southern Cross. So, we'll be... the plan is to catch a few more trains and then get on our N class, which will take us, well, we'll take off the final V-line train, but we're going to take off the suburban trains while we're at it. What's that? Yeah? Don't have a logo yet, so I don't know. Well, that seems like it might be the logo. That platform will be on this side. Okay. No, it is on this side. There it is. Right, now we're getting off. Right, that was the V-line Sprinter. Yeah. So that ticks off most of the trains so far. I think for the V-line Sprinter, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Like the Siemens, not too special though, but it, yeah, it was definitely perfectly fine. Yeah, so now we're going to catch some metro trains. We've got the HCMT and the Comengers to catch. And then we've also got the N-class locomotive. What we have successfully caught the Extrapolis 100, the Siemens Nexas, the V-line VLocity, and the V-line Sprinter. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's really annoying. I hate it when it does that. Thank you. Sometimes, yeah, it automatically taps off for you, which is really annoying. Why? Yeah. So, our N class departs at 1 and it's 12:23, so I've got about half an hour. Reasonably, I should allow a little more than that, but there's a HCMT. I'm gonna miss that, most likely, actually. Let's see if we can make it now. Thank you. Come on, come on. Okay, the door's just open. Come on. Okay, all the people packing out of that door. Okay, I'm gonna make it. That was a little close. Okay. This is the HCMT, or high capacity metro train. Yeah. Let me just catch my breath. Yeah, this is the high capacity. This is a high capacity metro train. also known as HCMT. I'm not going to be on this for very long because I'm going to get off in Flinders Street, I think, to reliably catch a Comeng. Could actually get off at Richmond, but I won't need the extra time really. They're 7 cars long, and you're able to freely traverse all 7 carriages. It's not 2-3 car sets coupled, but instead one huge set. And they have a lot of PIDs and a lot of signage everywhere, and a lot of seats and a lot of standing room. They have and their PIDs are really good. There is one small downside. If you hold the open button when the train's about to stop, it will actually punish you by going like delaying for a few seconds before it opens, which doesn't make any sense at all, but it still does it, which does mean that getting off the train is a little slower than it needs to be. And yeah, they've got cool designs for the seats. It's interesting, they're going back and retroactively changing the seats on all the trains they refurbish, but then they're applying a new seat style to the HCMTs. Makes them look really modern, which they are. Really, firstly, they're brand new. And they look really futuristic, which is cool. Yeah, got nice aircon, like just stood under some, that felt nice. And
Arriving at Flinders Street.
yeah, I'm gonna get off here and change for a Comeng because I don't have too much time. Again, I could ride it for longer, but I'm not going to. Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna 915. Let's just record that. All right. Well, actually. And let's find our way to the upfield, to the northern group platforms, upfield, Sunbury or Craigieburn. And we're going to navigate our way back to Southern Cross, preferably via the city loop. Maybe not. But yeah. Yeah, we're at Flinders Street Station. The thing about the HCMT doors is you don't need they don't have a button that you push. They've got like a sensor of some form. So if you watch, they don't actually push in the button. But yeah, you should trigger that one. Got the side PIDs as well. Yeah. Oh, that's the VLocity. Alright, let's head over and try and catch a Comeng. Oh, forgot the rating. HCMTs, because they're just really good trains, they're not badly made, they're pretty good, I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. Now, I know that was a very brief trip on a HCMT, but I could do a longer one, or you could just have a look at any other video that I made. Go through Clayton a lot, which is HCMT territory, because they operate on the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines, and very soon the Sunbury line. Correction, they operate on the Sunbury line, but very, very infrequently. 2 trains a day are HCMTs. Alright, let's board this train. This is... That's actually the other half of the train. 943M. Oh. So, as you can see, it has the modern seats. It has old-fashioned PIDs, which is interesting. So yeah, Comengers have an interesting thing. They don't have button-operated doors. Instead, they have handle-operated doors. but they automatically close when the train departs. Also, yeah, this is the carriage walk between a thingy. So instead of it's much more difficult sort of thing. Like, yeah, and there's windows so you can see between the carriages, which are interesting. This is an EDi Comeng. Used to be. Now these trains are pretty. These trains are the old trains in the suburban fleet. But they're around 40 years old. And they have an interesting history. So I've been calling this an EDi Comeng, and that is because in the early 2000s, the Comeng fleet was refurbished by the two separate operators. M-Train hired EDi Rail to refurbish their Comenges, and Connex hired Alstom. And they both got different fiberglass fronts, which are the main difference between them to this day. There's not much else after the recent life extension refurbishment, which gave them a new livery and made them life extended. Yeah, they're pretty good trains, but they are starting to grow old and will need replacing soon. And that's what's happening. Half of them have already been replaced by the HCMTs, and a new train called the Extrapolis 2.0 will come in to replace the remaining Comenges starting around 2025, 2026. Yeah. I'll catch this one to North Melbourne and then catch... Ooh. Yeah, I'll catch this in North Melbourne and then catch another Comeng back to Southern Cross. I think that works. Maybe not. Maybe I'll actually catch it to Footscray and then catch a... Oh, come on. Okay. I want to catch an Alstom Comeng. I'll catch this to... Okay, well, an Alstom Comeng is basically the same thing as an EDi Comeng, except they have different fronts. So I might pull the controversial thing and only catch the EDi Comeng. I've definitely caught... Actually, no. I'll get back. I'll go to North Melbourne, I think. Yeah. And we'll see what happens there. Okay, I figured it out. It is a much higher priority for me to catch the N-Class than the Comeng. So, I'm going to get straight back to Southern Cross. So yeah, this is how the doors operate. So we wait for it to open, and we pull them open. Surprisingly large amount of force. Yeah. Now we'll catch a return train to Southern Cross because we need to get on that end set. So yeah, I'll give the Comenges an 8 out of 10. Now I know that's surprisingly, you might find that surprisingly high for trains that are going to be replaced soon, but besides the fact that they're getting old, they are pretty good trains. Okay. Yep, that's going to be my return train. I don't like that. It's a little tight. Well, I brought that upon myself by not getting off at Southern Cross on the Comeng. Okay. Wait, this is the wrong... Oh my god, this is the wrong platform. I'm stupid. This train is another Comeng. However, it's another EDI, and it's not going in the right direction anyway. I know today I've been focusing a little bit on the trains. I did at the start, acknowledge all of you guys, but yeah, it's amazing how many of you guys just saw these videos I'm making, just me on my little train adventures, and you said, hey, I wanna see another one of those. That's just, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And yeah. And if you aren't subscribed but you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe, because there's, yeah, more where this came from. There's a lot more. Just look at my video count at the top of my channel. It's in the hundreds. Don't go on that carriage. This one looks fine. 235M. Anyway, this is another Extrapolis 100. This one's got the hybrid livery, which I haven't talked about. Yeah, the hybrid livery is where they put the outline around the doors, but they didn't remove the logos. I do not like this livery. It is worse than both of the other two combined, but well, both the other two are great. Both the other two liveries look nice, but the livery just looks bad because it's, you know, halfway between them. Boy, this train was made in 2017. That's 14 years after the other train was made. After the other Extrapolis that we rode on. Alright. Now we're at Southern Cross and we've got to run to make our other train. Okay. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so it's leaving in only a few minutes, but I think we'll be able to make it. Didn't seem to have a loco yet, which is good. Yeah, we're catching a train we're catching a train whose destination is Warrnambool. However, we're not getting off at Warrnambool. That would be excessively long of a trip. So instead, we're getting off at Lara. That's the plan. Stop talking and resume running. Wait, actually. What? Pretty sure it's this one. What? Oh crap. Where is it? That better be it. Because I don't see any other end sets. Please be it. If it isn't, I don't know what to do, honestly. Could be on platform. Don't worry. What does it say? Not 7 o'clock. Why does it say 7 o'clock? What does it say, sir? Is that an error? What's going on? That is really annoying. Where's my train? Oh. I think that something wrong. What? Then where is it? Nobody's on this train. If I went to the wrong platform. Oh no. Okay, I have 5 minutes and I don't even know where my train is. I'm gonna have to... Guys, we encountered an issue. That's not an end set. After everything, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I don't. That's not an end set, so... I could have ridden an... Oh my god. I could have ridden an end set. Remember that end set we saw leaving Southern Cross when we were here before we went to Seymour? Or Donnybrook? I could have gotten on that. Doesn't matter where that was going, could have gotten on it. I'm sorry, I don't know how we're going to recover from this. I really don't. I would have easily been able to get on this. I made it, but it was the wrong train. Again. Where else? Where's that end set going? Who knows? Could be literally anywhere. So close. I'll have to... Oh no.
Attention, Midnight customers. The 123 to Rowden service is now boarding at platform 15A. This service will be stopping at Pakenham, Nanagoon, Tynong, Garfield, Bunyip, Longwarry, Druin, Warrigal, Yarragon, Trafalgar, Moe, Morwell, Traralgon. The 123 Traralgon service is now boarding at platform 15.
This out-of-service Siemens is just going past on the non-passenger service line. This is like mostly for freight, but it's a test train. That's what it says. Display test. Display UI test. Okay, so... Still formulating a plan of what I want to do next. I guess you guys will be able to find out. Well, whatever the next section of the video is labelled, I guess. You can tell, but for me... I don't know what I'm doing next. Because there's no way I'm catching an end set today. Not unless, like, I don't even know. But getting home very late. Ugh. Okay, a plan has formed. Yeah. There is one more end set running on the network today. The 6:30 Southern Cross to Bairnsdale. And it's possible to get on that train at Dandenong and get off it at Pakenham legally. which would be a short-ish trip, but would still count, and I might be able to make it, but that's a long time away. That's a good 5 hours from now. So I'm going to catch an Alstom Comeng, and then I'm going to head back home, basically, and then I'll go to Dandenong, at around 7ish. So yeah, this continuous part of the adventure is nearly over, but we'll 5 hours later be able to resume it. Still in one day. So yeah, all trains in one day is back on. Yay! Right, this is an Alstom Comeng heading to Craigieburn. I probably should be running right now, but I'm not. The doors aren't closing, they only close when the train's departing. Okay. Yep. Oh, this is a Comeng with the new PIDs, so I get to show this.
This is a service to Craigieburn, stopping all stations.
It's 4M. So you might wonder, what's the difference? And of course I've said there isn't much of one.
This is a service to Craigieburn, stopping all stations.
That's weird that you cut off there, but okay. Yeah, the main difference between this and the other Comeng, besides the slightly different front, is these PIDs. I'm gonna listen to that sign. Sorry. I'm gonna listen to the sign and not walk between the carriages. That's 740. Yeah, so I'm just going to catch this to North Melbourne and then head to Flinders Street, and I think we're going to be catching a bus replacement bus replacement thingy, so that will be interesting. Okay, we're at North Melbourne now. That's highly specific, by the way. $481. It's 480 just too little.
Wavery, services.
Yep, this is the very different looking front as opposed to that train. That's 444M, that's the train I rode earlier. That's funny. Mine is 644M, the train that I just rode. Right, let's head back to Flinders Street now. Right, yeah. Okay, this is a train going to Flinders Street. I missed it. That's fine. That's fine. Wait, yep, it's not. No chance of that. Okay. Right, we're catching this train back to Flinders Street, and then we'll find a way to a Belgrave something at Flinders Street. Probably a bus replacement. These are the orange Siemens seats. I'm not giving the Alstom Comeng a different rating, by the way. Whatever. Yeah. Okay, now after going through the city loop, we're arriving at Flinders Street. I don't know what that was. Suspicion it's going to be this side.
No, we're going to get off.
My suspicion was wrong.
Hold this. So you don't fall.
Which side are we getting
It
off?
won't be that one because you'll fall along.
Alright, now we're at Flinders Street, and you find a way to a Belgrave something. Well, that's helpful, that EID. Really, like, you know. I'll just wait for the flood of... You know what? Right, well that was the last train we're catching for this section of the day. This half of the day, really. So it says board the next Blackburn train and change for replacement buses. So we'll be catching another Extrapolis to Blackburn, so it turns out it's not the last train. And then we'll be catching a replacement bus, which is either cool if you think about it because it's unique, or if you think about it, honestly, not cool because replacement buses are not known for their quality. Anyway. Alright, this is our train to Blackburn. It's going to go via the city loop. Let's get on the train number 220M, that's a round number. And otherwise it's completely arbitrary, really. Alright, now we're at Blackburn. We're going to have to change here for a bus replacement because the line is closed after this point. So I guess we get to see Blackburn Station. Yeah, this is the island platform. penalties apply for entering this specific point. That's what the sign seems to indicate. Fortunately, I have a valid ticket.
Buses are replacing trains from Blackburn.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to find a bus replacement that's heading down the Belgrave line. And it will be, at the very least, stopping all stations from Ringwood. That's the only way we can get it. So there'll be a few stops, but at least it will be direct to Ringwood. And we tap off. What do you mean touched on? Sometimes don't you read it? Oh, just have to wait for the change of mind thing. That's annoying. Change of mind, no charge. I think I'm still being charged the full fare today. Yeah. I think I'm still being charged the full fare today, but I'll definitely will be. And I'll tap on the next bus. Trains are that way. Not looking for trains. Buses are this way. Yep, buses. This way?
Yes.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, buses. There's no toilets. But anyway. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Okay, see the bus. Okay. Yep. Okay, this is not the way to anywhere. Okay. Get on the bus replacement soon. Okay, I think this is our bus. Right, this is our bus. We're going to be heading to Ferntree Gully station. Yeah, so this is the replacement bus. They're pretty high frequency, which is good. So it didn't matter that I didn't actually get on the first one. I don't know where I was set. Somewhere near a stop. Like here. Here it works. Yeah. Right now, bus replacement is heading off. I believe it's express to Ringwood. Stopping all stations to Belgrave. That's what I don't know. Definitely stopping all stations from Ringwood to Belgrave. said it already, but I'm going to go to Dandenong at around 7. I'm going to catch an NZ to Pakenham, and then catch a train back to somewhere like Dandenong, like and then but yeah, that will be a while from my perspective, for about 15 seconds on it. Yeah, that's the plan. So, people often say, like, bus replacements and stuff are bad, but, like, my experience wasn't any issues with it. There was clear signage at both Flinders Street and Blackburn. Like, the buses were more frequent than the trains would have been anyway. So, and, yeah. I don't know how long I was on the bus for, but not especially. Not too long. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Not that I'm rating the bus, but how long I'm doing that, but yeah. Alright. I'll see you at Dandenong. It's nearly 7 o'clock and we're at Dandenong Station. This is the new station building. That's who knows how old. Didn't look like this from the platforms when I went last, surprisingly, but yeah. Train should be coming from there, but yeah. Yeah, this is Dandenong Station, haven't it? Yeah. Been here. We should see that one of the next trains. It's our Bairnsdale train. But yeah, we'll be heading further past East Pakenham. There's 3 platforms. Okay, I'll probably ask them. Alright, we're on platform 3, it says. Which makes sense. Where's the mic? How do you even access the platform? My camera upside down. Is this better? I don't know. Other way, we're here. Okay. It's just 20 minutes is our Bairnsdale train apparently. So it looks like it's running a little late, which is much better than early. Really. This is just an East Pakenham train. Yeah, this is not how I remember it last time when I went to East Pakenham, but or any of the other times I came here. Yeah, I remember it more like that. Also, it's interesting riding the trains at this time of night. Very late. So there's seagulls for some reason. They like train stations, is my assumption. Yeah. To Pakenham. Now, yeah, we'll be here surprisingly long, so... Yeah. So let's film some trains while we're here, I think. It's probably a good idea. Yeah. have to say, you just gotta love that HCMT sound. Oh, that's just very nice. But yeah, Dandenong, probably one of the second biggest cities within Melbourne, I think. And yeah, obviously the yeah, over there there's a bridge. So yeah, the car that was created to get rid of a level crossing as part of the level crossing removal project. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why the station got upgraded. Yeah. Another interesting thing is catching trains this late at night. Don't usually do this. Especially don't start my journeys this late at night. But yeah, to recap, an N-class locomotive heading to Bairnsdale is going to be here in 17 minutes. And we're going to catch it to Pakenham station, which is one of the few stations on the network that is exempt from the no suburban passengers rule. So you can travel freely to and from it on a V-line train, just like any V-line station. That's probably a Traralgon train, so I might want to catch that as well. I'll be... yeah. Oh, you can hear it. That's the sound of a V-line VLocity, the high-pitched horn. I can't see it. You know, it's got lights and stuff. Can't see those lights, interestingly. You can definitely hear it. Oh, there it is. Rounding the bend. You can see another do not board over there, a black thing on the PID. So there's a surprisingly large amount of V-line trains coming through here. But our train is the Bairnsdale, leaving in 11 minutes. can hear what sounds like a train. No, that's just cars. Yeah. You can see through there. Oh, that's a bus out there. Alert. I am maximally alert for trains. There we go, there's a train. Can't see it. Just noticed that's a low speed signal for shunting, because there's obviously a yard over there. There seems to be a complication. That might make things a little more difficult. If it's not stopping at Pakenham. Oh. That might make things a lot more difficult. There's one last HCMT before our train comes, which will be 4 minutes. Of course, it departs in 4 minutes. It doesn't mean it won't arrive yet. Now, it seems that it is going to stop at Pakenham, despite what the PID says, and I'm going to catch it either way, really, but I'll try to get off at Pakenham. Better stop there. I should get closer to the middle of the platform, just to make sure can reach it. That's going to be a problem. But yeah, as soon as that train arrives, and I step on it, we will have reached the objective. Catching every type of train in Victoria in one day. Alright, I think it's going to be here pretty soon. There we go. And it's an end set. This was almost definitely true, but it's just nice seeing that yes, everything is working. And finally, I can achieve the goal. Even after having literally going home and catching. Yeah. It's pulling up pretty close to the end. Blackburn. I don't know what that's for. When light is open, push door to open. Right, and now we're on board the train. So this is the back carriage, and this is the economy class seats. You see, on N class, seating all the seats are the same price and stuff, but the first class seats that were there back when first class was a thing are still there now. And so there are economy and first class seats still, even on a train that doesn't charge first class tickets. So yeah, this is the back car. This is actually a Z. The back two carriages are actually Z types that have been slightly converted for use with N sets, and the front three are true N type carriages. Let's go between them. Now this is the second Z-type carriage with more economy seating. Economy seating is blue and first class is red, but first class is only like the front carriage sort of thing. This is one of the many toilets. Let's have a look inside. And as you can see, there's a big difference. Like, look at this compared to this. Yeah, there's a bit of a difference. Okay, you boys whenever you want. So, yeah, this is the first N-type carriage. Not too different. Not very different.
Actually quite pleasant. Have you got any more kids that are
But yeah, the push to open doors are pretty cool. Oh yeah, more toilets. Another one of the This is another one of the toilets. This is the end carriage with the buffet, which is not open yet. But there's all the things. You can buy all sorts of things on the train. Yeah. So this leads to the first. Right now, I've been told not to take photos of people in the seats and stuff. This is what the camera's blurry. This is what the first class seating looks like. It's red. It's got tray tables and stuff. I've been told not to go in there just to respect the privacy of the people, which is fair. But yeah, I'll have a good look at them another day, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, they're much more like the first class seats would be, you know, what you'd expect from a first class seating on a train. Yeah, there's some refreshment stations like on all V-line trains. Yeah. So yeah, this is. What station is this? Is this Pakenham already? I hope not. Actually, it looks like Hallam. And we didn't stop, so I'm betting it's Hallam. But yeah. See, the first class seating, again, is the same cost as everything else, but it's always part of the reserved seating. Hopefully I'll be able to have a little bit of a look inside again when I arrive at Pakenham, so maybe I should prepare to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's a pretty cool view. It's hard to see. Yeah, really good trains. They've got a lot of comfort and stuff. They've even got curtains to like block the light. Well, you can see with the 3 wide seating on the trains that don't have very many people on them. Some people are even lying down and sleeping on them.
Yeah, he's a very caring person.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, they're really good trains, and they've got even food on them when the buffet is actually open and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to give, just because of how good trains they are, I think I'm gonna have to give the N classes a 10 out of 10. Because, yeah, they're just maximum comfort. Yeah, you can even see the Siemens Comeng. Yeah, they've got, they're the most comfortable trains. They're properly designed for long distance journeys. You can even buy food on them. Yeah. Pretty solid trains. And they're really smooth ride. Locomotives allow much more comfortable starting and stopping. All that stuff. Oh, that's close to something. Yeah. Right, I'll head up here. that was a station. Not anymore. But anyway, yeah, these are some of the best trains on the network. And while they're not good at all jobs, like they don't have doors for suburban passengers, they're not built for suburban passengers. And they don't... And they don't run on suburban lines, so unlike the VLocity, not having suburban functions is a good thing, because except catching trains to Pakenham or Sunbury, you're not allowed to do it anyway. So they're doing... Actually, I think I do have an idea what they are. Might be approaching Pakenham soon. Yeah, I didn't sit down, but I'll demonstrate the seats actually. Just quickly. Yeah, they're like really, they're nice and cushiony and comfortable seats. It's okay. Yeah, they're really good seats. And it's interesting, these intercarriage things. On most trains, there's just no intercarriage stuff. Like, it's either a walkway that you're not even allowed to go on when it's moving, or then the carriages just merge. But on the end sets, uniquely, they've got this large intercarriage area where there's no rules against being, like near the doors and on the walk between them, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, keep away from that door then.
My parents
Because Pakenham is a station where I need that door. So, in fact, I'm just gonna turn that off. I want anyone to get ungood shocks. So this is economy. Over there it should say nothing, which makes sense because first class is nothing anymore. But it's not economy either. Now I imagine there'll be an announcement because there's not many public information displays on this. Not many, there are there. There's not many of them. Oh yeah, these are good seats. Full on cushions. Yes, there is what looks to be like a public information display over there. So I wonder. It doesn't say anything though, so I don't know. Yeah, we should be approaching Pakenham pretty soon. Yeah, really soon actually. Probably getting ready to get off now. Didn't sit for long. It's fine. Oh, this is one of the last stations it looks like. Let's just reset it and be here. Here's one of the carriage numbers. We've got BRN. I believe that's ACN. They're like AB. Oh, this isn't Pakenham. Not quite, I don't think. No. Probably one of the last stations before Pakenham though. But anyway, yeah, ACN. There might be. The carriages are like named like carriage A, carriage B, C. I think there's D and E maybe. And then the N-class locomotives are fun with just N and then a number. Right, now's the question. It is 7:30, and obviously the train was late to Dandenong, so it would be unsurprising that it was late to Pakenham. When are we going to get? But when are we going to get there is the question, obviously. I'm sure it will be answered pretty soon, because I imagine we're coming up on the station. Still on the ground. Pakenham is never mind, we are no longer on the ground. Pakenham is a Skyrail station, and sure that will be obvious when we arrive there. Pulling up on platforms pretty soon. Yeah, there's also garbage on these trains, Victorian trains. All of them have like garbage stuff, which is pretty cool. Metro doesn't have that. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear the sound of it braking, but there's barely any force. Because, yeah, the N-class locos are really good. Well, the locomotive haul trains are really good at distributing like the speed evenly, or rather, not evenly, instead absorbing most of the force and just giving you a little comfortable bit of deceleration, but making the ride really smooth. Now we wait for it to turn green. I pull the door together. And yeah, now we're at Pakenham. Yeah, you can see inside the carriages, the first class. They've got tray tables and cool red seats. And this is a power van, provides power to the carriages from the locomotive. And yeah, that's the conductor's room where the conductor goes. And yeah. They're interesting power-fitted doors. Yeah, that is the end set, officially ending my catching every type of train in Victoria in one day. What a way to go. So yeah, and as I said before, 10 out of 10, almost perfect train. Now, we've been to Pakenham recently, and it was still very much under construction, so it begs the question, how much has changed since we were last here? Now, Pakenham, the former terminus of the Pakenham line, which now terminates at East Pakenham. So, but it's still called the Pakenham line. Oh wow! The next train over there, you can't see it, but on the PIDs, the next train in 6 minutes is a Victorian Train, which is funny. So that's probably need to get over there relatively quickly, but yeah. Now, it was a surprisingly long journey to Pakenham from Dandenong running express. Probably got stuck a bit behind other trains. But yeah, should probably speed up a little bit. Now, we've been to Pakenham before. If you want to see that, watch a news station in Melbourne, East Pakenham video. This is the first time since I've started being a train gunzel thing, at least, that there has been a properly new station in Melbourne. There have been refurbished ones like this Pakenham, which is still basically the same. You've still got the rickety staircase for platform 2. And you still got, like, well, let's look at down here. Yep, you still got half the station buildings. Also, it's always an interesting choice when they make you tap off to swap platforms. Here is the Pakenham sign. And now we'll be heading up to platform 1 to catch the 7:41 Southern Cross. Alright, now we're heading to platform 1 to head back to Dandenong, which should be the first stop on our return trip, but it will take a while to reach there. If you've ridden a Bendigo service from Footscray to Sunbury, you'll know how long it takes for the next station thing. It's over like half an hour and stuff. I think it's over half an hour, maybe. Yeah, between Footscray and Sunbury, but it stops no stations on that. There will be no lift access to platform 2 until spring. Oh, there's the intended entrance. Oh wait, no. Well, it's on that side, so you can't even see it. Or it could be on both. Yeah. Myself a little snack from the vending machine, because just a little dessert, because it's that time of night. To substitute the lack of food, an open buffet on the N class. But yeah, now most of the trains on the Bairnsdale line are VLocities, so it's interesting that they run a few N sets, right? The story for that is interesting. So they made the Bairnsdale line so that VLocities could run on it, but they didn't refurbish the stabling facilities at Bairnsdale, so they were only compatible with N sets. So that means that any train that stays there overnight has to be an N set. And so that means that the last train to arrive at Bairnsdale in the night and the first train to leave has to be an N set. Also known as the last up, first down. And when we were at Richmond today, we also saw an N set. That was the first up, because they don't run many Bairnsdale services in a day. So we actually got to see both N sets today on the Bairnsdale line. And yeah, they were the only N sets operating in Melbourne today as well, because of closures on the Swan Hill and Warrnambool lines. It's actually running pretty heavily express. So this V-line train, which implies that it's actually another Bairnsdale train, because Traralgon trains normally stop at stations like Berwick and Clayton, but this one isn't. Which, is that it? Yeah, that is it. But yeah, we've ticked off all the stations in Victoria for my the 200 subscriber special. Catching every train in Victoria has been completed. And I'm still going to keep filming my return trip to Dandenong. And yeah, so But yeah, it's just... Now, when I'm filming this, in all honesty, I did not film this when I reached 200 subscribers. Want to be honest about that. Currently, Comeng17 has 182 subscribers when filming this. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna act like it, because to you guys, I have at least 200 subscribers when you're watching. And that's what this video is for, 200 subscribers. To celebrate 200 subscribers by catching every type of train that regularly operates in Victoria. And so, yeah, it just, think of the journey we went on today. It's almost like the journey this channel has gone on, growing so much in the over half year since we started it. It's been a few months since episode 1 of Comeng. Alright, let's get on the V-Line VLocity, our final train for the day. This V-Line VLocity, that is. Our final train from today is departing the station. Now, interestingly, the VLocity also doesn't want to use its PIDs, just like the inset. So, yeah. Well, not that I'll be showing extreme reviews. Oh look, that PID is working perfectly fine, but that one just says Southern Cross. Yeah. So the next station is Dandenong anyway, I know that. Just pressed record just after she finished, but the driver / conductor just announced the next station was Dandenong. So yeah. V-Line prefers announcements over PIDs generally. Which I guess work on much longer distance journeys. Yeah. Here's the V-Line network map. Thick lines indicate trains, where they're all the same thickness. The fully shaded lines are trains, and the dotted lines are also trains. They're just long distance trains. Yeah, you can also see the overland marked in this line, and the XPT to Sydney marked in this grey line here. And you can see the indirect route that the overland takes. It goes all the way to North Shore and then heads up to Ararat. And it goes relatively direct, following the same route, almost the same route as the coaches do. But yeah. Now we're at Dandenong. Here we are. Wait, is this set 30? I think that video that I took all the way back in... Oh, no, I didn't take it. The video that was taken all the way back in 2013, 11 years ago, showing a VLocity in the second, in the dark purple livery was 3VL33. So if that's the same set, that's a pretty cool thing to reach for my for this big milestone. So let's watch it depart. Okay.
Attention customers on platform 2, please stand behind the yellow line at all times while on station platforms. Thank you.
Right, now let's find the way out of Dandenong Station. Alright, and now, that's it for today's adventure. I'll see you next time on Comeng 17. And thank you all for subscribing. This milestone, it's amazing how many people have chosen to join us on this journey, both this literal journey of today's adventure and the journey of this channel. I'll see you all as well next time. And if you haven't subscribed, now's the perfect time to do it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, just before I go, I just wanted to clarify one thing. I could confirm that the train that we rode on, the last train we rode on today, was the train from 2013. And that is just amazing. Like, what a coincidence, and what a way to end this video. Speaking of ending the video,